मुझे छोड़ दे मुझे छोड़ दे
Holy smokes, we got Indians worshipping animatronics like it's Five Nights in Fenicious. Am I the only one that kind of gets the creeps from stuff like this? I mean, look, it even has like demon fangs and demon claws. One thing I find interesting about India is how before the internet existed, this land was seen as some kind of place full of wisdom and meditation and spices and medicine. And then after the internet, it's just like,
What this is?
I don't know.
Oh, chat, what is that?
it's like people started actually going to India and video documenting what they started seeing and the culture that they started experiencing. I just want to say before we start the video, this is no way in shape and form every single Indian on the planet. You know, there's 2 billion or so of these guys. There's no way every single one of them is not wearing deodorant and not showering. You know, we have like City Boy JJ over here who's carrying the entire country on his back. This is not a call of violence towards Indian people, nor is this video intended to bully anybody of Indian descent. This is simply me reacting, disagreeing, or questioning with culture, as well as my raw reaction to certain clips. And I should have said this in my Black Fatigue video, but if you're Indian watching this and you feel a sense of embarrassment, please don't, unless you are one of the people that actually are doing some of the weird and illegal things shown in this video. But today we're going to be talking about the weird things that they've been doing with cows, the Canadian invasion, and honestly, how they're just everywhere in the world, the pollution that they cause, and really, just a lot of weird things we're going to be going over today. Now, I wanted to start with the cows. Now, may I warn you, if you are one of those people that watch YouTube while eating, you might want to either skip this part and come back later, or you know what? Actually, we won't start with the cows. We'll do this later. If you're eating right now, finish your food and we'll come back to it later.
I am a lesbian. That's okay.
Yeah, that's okay, right, guys?
I'm bisexual. That's okay.
Yeah, no, bisexual. That, you know, it's not my cup of tea, but it's up to you.
I'm transgender. That's okay.
You know, once again, not my cup of tea, but if that's what you want to do, you know, that's okay.
I am a Hydra. That's okay.
Wait, what? Where did that come from? Did they just say that they're Hitler? What? That just came out of left field.
We are beautiful.
Oh! Trying to teach a fellow Indian native about deodorant. Yeah, good luck with that, buddy.
What this is?
I don't know.
You don't know? Look,
Perfume.
deodorant. For
Okay.
this, for this.
Okay.
Do you use it?
I don't need that.
Brother, you need to use it. You need to use it.
Why should I?
Because if not, you're going to smell bad.
It doesn't matter.
This guy just asked, why should he be using deodorant, as if it's not the obvious answer to that? Like, bro, you are going to smell like shit. Like literal poop from a butt. And that's fine when you're in India, because I'm sure everybody else just smells the same there. But when you come to Canada or America, you're gonna whip people's heads wondering what that smell is. Like, it's not even a joke that deodorant is against Indian culture. Like, they genuinely have such an ego about themselves that they don't think that they need it. It's like, newsflash, everybody needs deodorant, even women. Like, Wise is actually kind of tough. Like, he's aura farming mid-fight with the stall stand owner. Everybody personally thank this man right here because he's fighting the CEO of Indian street food. After he wins, they'll finally be rolling out health code violations to anybody violating them. I have no doubt that there is actually 2 billion Indians on Earth. Like, you know how some people be questioning the world's population?
There are not 8 billion people in the world. I've been all over the world, and I haven't seen nearly 8 billion people.
Have you been to India? I know a lot of people skip that destination, but if you're going to be talking about the world's population, you might need to go see that place first. And even if you don't go to visit India, like, I want to ask this guy, how many Indian people have you seen? If you've genuinely traveled the world, how many Indian people have you seen without going to India? Because they are everywhere.
First time in NHL history, O Canada will be performed in English and Punjabi.
Why? Why would you need the national anthem to be translated. If you're doing the national anthem translated, is it still really the same national anthem? Nobody listens to the national anthem for the lyrics anyways. It's like the anthem itself with the original language intact is a symbol. Canadians complain about Indians using beaches for bathing, calling it a transformation into a third world country. Holy shit, they actually brought soap to the beach, but hey, at least they're using soap for once. This guy is washing his ass and everything. I mean, hey, good for him, but I feel like this is something you should be doing in private. Successfully converted Toronto downtown into Punjab. What do you mean by successfully? That just seems like very weird word choice. Now, you might be wondering, how are all these Indians getting into Canada legally? Now, I actually found a video explaining it.
Do you want to know why Indians are getting so much hate in Canada now? It's because more Indians have come to Canada in the last 5 years than the last 100 combined. And they're all coming as international students. Great. They're all studying at schools that are legitimate. No. 94% are studying at community colleges and these diploma mills for certificates. Like Anderson College, that used to be a Walmart, and then they made it into some diploma mills. Or Candor College, which is literally connected to an Indian restaurant, has graduated over 45,000 Indian students, and also has another college beside it, Stanford. Sweetie, our Sasani is going to Stanford. No, not the one in California, the one in Brampton.
So yeah, basically these people are using these diploma mills shown, which really aren't real colleges, in order to loophole the student visa laws. And I looked it up, and apparently the US has more relaxed student visa laws than Canada, whereas if your student visa expires, as long as you're still going to school, you're still technically a legal citizen. I don't know what corrupt politician or immigrant politician put this in place, but this should not be a law. This is kind of weird. And the fact that liberal Canada has stricter laws than this is honestly concerning.
Like 5? There are 800. There are 800 of these just in Ontario. I don't know about the other provinces. I'm Toronto born and raised. And every brown kid I grew up with went to either UFT, York, or Ryerson. Alright? What the f is this? What are these schools? Some of the smartest people on the planet. I'm not even Indian. You know who taught me AP Calculus? A random Indian man on YouTube. We're not getting these geniuses. Alright? We're literally getting deep rural villagers. That's why they're studying at these fake schools. Because they would never qualify for permanent residence without a little scamming. Which is why the highest number of asylum seekers in Canada were international students from India. Illegal border crossings into the United States, only Indian international students.
Wow, so they are using diploma mills to loophole student visa regulations to get into Canada, and then from Canada, they are illegally going into the United States. I guess we need a wall up north too, because goddamn.
These dudes that are protesting in tents for PR when they went to these fake diploma mills, never seen before, only Indians. Have you ever seen job lineups for minimum wage that circle around the block? Millions, literally millions of villagers to compete with high school and college kids for jobs. That's why people are talking about pooping on beaches. Indians have been here forever. Never heard about pooping on beaches until now.
This is why I told you guys to finish your food before we go into this video a little bit deeper, because yeah, we will be talking about this shit, literally talking about it. But first, we gotta talk about the Indians going into Japan. The Japanese and Indian governments aim to formulate a plan to promote people-to-people exchanges, setting a target of more than 500,000 people over the next 5 years, according to sources close to the Japanese government. Tokyo aims to increase exchanges in government, industry, academia, and other sectors, harnessing India's dynamism to fuel Japan's economic growth. Of the 500,000 people, 50,000 are expected to be highly skilled Indians with specialized knowledge who will work in Japan. Oh my god, even the government is out here scamming. Like, this is a terrible idea. I'm just gonna say that myself, like, it's just a terrible idea. The Japanese can't even get along with the Koreans, and they look alike. What makes you think that they're gonna just take in Indians and not be hostile towards them? There's already been footage from years ago of Indians harassing a woman, trying to get her to show off her cleavage. In fact, the AI bot is confused with another incident where a Japanese woman went to India and reportedly got molested. This seemed to happen during the Holi festival, which other people have reported getting molested as well.
Last week I was harassed at the Holi festival in India, and here is exactly how it happened. Example number 1 is when I say no, but this local man did not care.
Just give me all
so he proceeded to aggressively grab my face from behind. So an example of my friend getting harassed is going to be more common, where they decide to excessively touch and then throw flour at her face, and a lot of them do this to blind the woman so they can grope them and grab their chest. If you slow the footage down, after he touches my friend, he grabs his mate and says, "Hey look, there's a woman, you should go touch her face." Now,
So yeah, these men basically throw this paint or whatever into these women's face and then blind them to grope them and molest them. And then I saw women in the comment sections blaming men for this, and it's like, well, it's not men, but it is a certain type of men. I find it interesting that some women are too scared to be racist or be against a certain culture while getting molested, but then they think being sexist is okay and judging an entire sex of people based off of this culture. In fact, women are starting to get scared of getting into Ubers and are now requesting women-only Ubers. Who do you think is driving the Ubers? In fact, I saw this video of two women in the back of an Uber with an Indian driver who was refusing to drop them off at their destination, driving on the freeway very fast, and saying that he'll only let them out to their destination if they agree to marry him.
Dude, I'll literally give you a cash tip to let us out. Like, I will pay you for your time.
I don't give a fuck.
What the fuck? Why? Why are you pulling over? Dude, pull over! Let us out! Crazy! Why?
One of you need to marry me.
No! Why the fuck are we gonna marry you? Why do you need to marry one of us? Why?
Because I need to get a green card.
Now, I like making fun of women just as much as the other guy, but there's people in this comment section that were like, stupid women, what, they want to be let out on the freeway? As if they were like defending the Indian guy doing this action. And it's like, no, they didn't want to be let out on the freeway. They wanted to be let at their destination, and if you look at the GPS screen, this guy needs to make an entire U-turn because he purposely went past the exit that he needed to take. Like, yeah, I'll make fun of women when they're in the wrong, but clearly this guy is deranged and needs to be out of the country. That's not racist to say that. He's a criminal. This is technically kidnapping. Anyways, we got a little bit off topic. Let's go back to travelers to India.
Please, no, sorry. Please, no. Out. Call your friend.
This gorgeous Korean travel blogger just shared her recent trip to India. And man, what started as an exciting adventure turned into a complete nightmare. In just a few days, she dealt with non-stop stalking, creepy harassment, and scam after scam. And if that wasn't bad enough, the whole thing ended with a nasty car accident. She went there curious about a different culture.
Was the videos on the internet not enough for her curiosity? I mean, people be like, don't believe the propaganda online, and then go and experience the propaganda that happens online.
Pushing her deeper into despair until she finally broke down crying on camera, shouting, "I hate India."
Are you crying, man?
Yeah, I'm crying.
Why?
Guys, I hate India.
To India. Yes, you heard that right. It's my first time traveling by myself and going to India. So I really appreciate any tips or any travel hacks you guys.
Okay, at this point, I'm gonna say, if you haven't finished your food, you're gonna have to either continue this video at another time, or you're gonna have to hurry up and finish because we're gonna be talking about this shit. This is a guy just straight up defecating in a Starbucks. Just no care in the world, no shame, just straight shit falling out of his pants. I don't know what kind of person you have to be doing this kind of stuff, but maybe it's like that guy said earlier, it's a villager who just doesn't know any better, but this guy is holding what seems to be a phone charger, so he can't be that backward. Even if we give him the excuse of, okay, maybe he has diarrhea and just couldn't control himself, when I have diarrhea and I'm about to shit my pants, I'm usually running to the bathroom with shame on my face. If I pooped myself in public, you do not know how embarrassed I would be. Like, this would be almost like the goonicide. But this guy is defecating in public in Starbucks while holding a conversation with the employee with no shame at all. His ass is just hanging out. I can't even show this on YouTube. I have to censor it.
Falling for the myths for cow dung soup.
Are you serious? Are you fucking serious? What did you just say? The myths of cow dung soap? This sounds like the most counteractive thing I've ever heard. What's next? Fucking piss shampoo?
Let's burst them wide open. Myth 1. People think it's unhygienic. Actually, cowpathy soaps are blended and sterilized with herbs like and essential oils for fresh and clean feet.
Oh, thank God. I thought they were just rubbing cow poop on themselves and calling it clean. Oh, no, thank you for elaborating. Now that I found out that you actually add essential oil. No, that doesn't even matter. That doesn't matter. You know those people that don't shower and instead they just spray cologne on themselves? That is just what you're doing. These herbs and essential oils are not going to mask the smell of cow shit.
Myth 2. It smells bad. No. We add essential oils so it smells amazing.
This is Indian math, where they add essential oils to literal cow poop and think it smells amazing.
3. It's only for traditional use. Wrong again. Our soap blends ancient wisdom with modern skincare, which is perfect for your daily beauty routine.
Listen, you Indians, if you want to use this, that's fine and all. Like, you know, it's a free world, do whatever you want. But like, whose idea was it to make this advertisement and advertise to the Western world? Like, do you really think a white man in America is gonna be like, oh, wow, ancient Indian wisdom, cow poop with essential oils, I need this soap, oh my God, it's so amazing. I don't even think the tolerant left here in America would appreciate that. Like that blue-haired, hyper-liberal, college student girl, she would puke at the idea of this. In fact, I'm willing to bet that the essential oils makes this smell like even worse.
Ready to burst this myth and get glowing skin? Try Cowpathy and let's change the way you think about the soap.
I looked it up and they have everything. Bath care, hair care, face care, home care so your dishes can smell like cow shit. Incense so your room can smell like cow shit. Lip care so you can kiss and taste cow shit. Medicine, oh my God, like... Nigga, you made a grown man cry. Yeah, I'm not gonna show you the whole thing. And matter of fact, I'm not even gonna have the freeze frame on. I'll take this off and put something happy and calming and relaxing so you get, but this guy, yeah, he ate cow shit. And then there's the cow poop festival where they just throw cow poop at each other all day for an entire day. Like, this is supposed to celebrate, and then they bathe in it. And, you know, basically have snow fights, but it's with cow poop. This guy decides to eat yogurt with the cow's tail, which in all honesty is the most tamest thing you will see with Indians doing to a cow. For example, this guy is drinking cow piss. And I don't know why you would need to farm it straight from the tap when they actually sell this in a bottle. And yes, you can actually find this product on Amazon. But it's not just Indians polluting their body with cow fecal matter and cow urine. They also pollute the earth through the Ganges River. The Ganges River is a river in India that the Indians hold as holy. Unfortunately, it doesn't really look too holy.
What about swimming in this?
Swimming is like once a year, everyone likes to have a swim in this river.
Doesn't that get you sick?
No. Like, have faith in water. You see, the water is pure, but we as sinners, we pollute the water.
I take only thing negative. My thing no negative. Everywhere clean.
It's all about perspective.
Please look, USA people and USA friend.
Wow. If you think the water is clean, then the water will be clean. If you think the water is medicine, it will heal you. If you think it's poison, it'll kill you. Wow, brother.
Oh, by the way, there's dead, rotting bodies in this water as well as sewage. Politician drinks from the Ganges, the cleanest and holiest river in India, starts shitting and coughing blood, dies. Okay, but he didn't die. He was hospitalized and it was a different river in India. I'll give Indians the benefit of the doubt. You're really not supposed to be drinking river water from anywhere, like untreated. I just don't know why these Indians are drinking it trying to prove some kind of point. Like, this is not good for you.
I'll show you the beautiful river. Well, I mean, you can't really tell there's water under there.
This can't be real. Like, you can't claim a body of water is holy and then treat it like this, man. The Yamuna River is often cited as the most polluted river in India, particularly the downstream of New Delhi, due to untreated sewage, industrial waste, and lack of environmental governance, making it hazardous and uninhabitable for aquatic life. While other rivers like the Ganges are also severely polluted, the Yamuna state is marketed by toxic foam, zero oxygen levels in certain stretches, and contamination that makes it unfit even for animal bathing. Yes, the Yamuna River is directly connected to the Ganges River.
Yeah.
You can drink this?
Yeah.
Oh, hey bro, it's not clean.
My thing clean.
Your thing clean.
Yeah.
He honestly probably just grabbed that bottle out of the river too, like just saw that shit passing by and just grabbed it.
Yes, my thing no negative.
Hey,
River mother.
You see this? Color, bro. It's okay? Wow, you immortal guy.
They always flex after drinking this water as if they just did some tough thing. Like, you wouldn't flex after drinking tap water, you know, because the tap water is actually clean. They, like, deep down they know, like, hey, like, this is actually a challenge for my body to overcome this dirty-ass water. In fact, in the 1980s, there were so many dead bodies in this river that they initiated a plan where they would put carnivorous, flesh-eating turtles into the river to eat these dead bodies and to clean the ecosystem. India once released 25,000 flesh-eating turtles into the Ganges. A plan to clean up corpses failed due to the lack of planning. Can you guess what the Indian government failed to account for? It was plagued by corruption and mismanagement, and though plenty of forethought was put into raising the turtles, not so much attention was paid to seeing that they survived in the wild after their release. As a result, they were poached and killed in large numbers. These Indians just ate the turtles. The turtles were supposed to eat them, but they ate the turtles. You can't make this up, man.
We are in an Airbnb and we are going to ask our security where we can throw this because there is no bins anywhere here.
So this lady stayed in an Airbnb in India and they had no trash cans, so she gave it to the security guard, and guess what he does with it? He just throws that shit over. Not my problem. God, that reminds me of this scene in the Simpsons movie where Homer comedically dumped pollution into the lake. Isn't it crazy that one culture's comedy is another culture's reality? Government installed revolving door at a public spot causes struggle to get through. I don't know if this is the fault of the public for not knowing how to use the revolving door properly, or if it's just the engineer's fault for making this so poorly. Look at the thing, it's about to fall over. And then you have these people who snuck out on the other side, not even waiting their turn, just cutting the line. And it's like, it's pretty obvious which side you're supposed to be on, dude, if you just followed the line. This also reminds me of that time where 7 engineers were suspended after they built a bridge with a 90-degree turn. It doesn't take a genius to realize why this is such a terrible idea. I mean, unless they're expecting to put a stop sign here where you have to then make a right turn on the bridge when they could have just made it curved and had continuous flow. I guess they don't teach common sense when it comes to universities in India. This is also why Canada doesn't accept degrees from India.
Call the police for what you hit. How you hitting it? The car's parked. The car hurt you and the bike. The parked car with nobody in it hurt you. How is that possible?
Been in Europe for 5 fucking minutes and already found a way to scam. Funny thing is, since this is Europe, she actually probably won this case too.
No, you don't. Listen, I've seen everything. I've seen everything now. This is ridiculous. This is Sunday afternoon. You've got no better things to do? I crashed.
No, actually, she might be onto something. This guy hit her with his car and then managed to parallel park it and then run back into his apartment in time to pull out his cell phone and record her. And she didn't, and that's just what happened.
You hit me. No, you hit the car. You crashed into a parked car and you're trying to get my insurance details for what reason? To make a claim. But it's your fault. You're in the wrong. You crashed into a parked object. So look, if you hit a tree, were you gonna ask for the tree's insurance details as well?
Please don't ask her these kind of questions, because she actually probably would, like, don't give her any ideas, please. She actually would probably try to sue the government. Why did you plant this tree here in my way? You should have known that I was gonna ride my bicycle here and you planted this tree in my way. Guys, welcome to Canada. Oh, and this is also soon to be Japan as well.
ये नारियल हिलने लगा है.
Nigga, I can see the string.
गुरुदेव नारियल हवा में उड़ चुका है.
हर चीज का एक समय होता है.
नहीं, इस समय में ये स्टूडियो में भी लाइव करके दिखा रहे हैं. हाँ.
Look at this guy's face. He knows he's on some bullshit. He's like, are people actually gonna believe this guy? Look, he bumped into it! You can't be for real right now. By the way, people worship this guy in India. Also, I've noticed that a lot of Indians are kind of insecure about their race and claim to be something else, or openly say that they wish they were something else.
My family has been Greek from the ancient times. My DNA test shows I am only Greek. This shows that Alexander is actually my ancestor.
Please tell me this is bait, because this guy does not understand anything, because there's no such thing as 100% Greek. If you took some guy from the meat shop in Greek, the big hairy uncle, even he wouldn't be considered 100% Greek at the DNA level. But this guy, no. This guy is not Greek, if you can't tell. Like, it doesn't take, you could put, he could show a baby this and be like, hey, do you think this guy's Greek? And he would say, probably goo goo gaga. Which, as a professional baby translator, that would mean, no, nigga, he's not Greek.
Someone as white passing as me has received Indian racism online.
Is the white passing in the room with us? The only white thing I see in this video is the suds in the bowl and the inside of this mug. Oh, and maybe her eyes are white, too.
If her parents didn't immigrate here, she'd be sleeping in cow shit with no rights. The irony. Hi, Mom.
Hey.
I
So
got...
you're ready for... Go ahead.
I got a racist comment. Do you want to hear it?
What is it?
If her parents did not immigrate here, she would be sleeping in cow shit with no rights. The irony. They're saying if I was still in India with you, we would be sleeping with cows and shit. But you didn't have cows in your house, right?
We did have cows in our house.
You low-key gotta respect the fact that she uploaded this, knowing that it's gonna do irreversible damage to her race. Top 3 Indian canon events. 1. Falling for your family friend. 2. Body hair trauma. 3. Being jealous of white girls. This really isn't surprising considering that India has the most skin-whitening product marketing. Wow, this Korean guy's looking for an Indian girl to be his friend. Jeez. Yep, says he's South Korean here. I wonder what this account is based in. Huh. India. That's not really surprising. DM Indian girls. We can be best friends. Let's be friends. DM Indian girls.
Indian.
This woman set her servers on this video sharing app to India and was immediately met by a person catfishing as a Korean, and then they showed her what seemed to be adult material. This was the first person that she met in India that didn't skip her. You can't make this up, man. After the passing of Charlie Kirk, FBI Director Kash Patel had this to say.
Charlie Kirk, rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
Valhalla? Charlie Kirk was a Christian. And you don't really look exactly like a Viking that would be in belief of Valhalla yourself. I know this is a touchy subject in current news, but saying you're gonna meet somebody in Valhalla as an Indian is such a cornball move. Also, another thing that cracks me up is that Indians practically love Israelis, despite Israelis seeing them as subhuman.
India, go to India! Go to India! Get a chance! Go to India! Go to India! Here Israel! I love Israel! You not love Israel! I love you, my brother!
Here is an Indian couple. It seems like the man is saying, I love Israel, and he's being told to go back to India, and it seems like his girlfriend, wife, or sister or something is saying, you are the king of kings. and he is shouting, "Go back to India." Here's an Indian man who's trying to join some kind of Jewish ceremony, and it looks like he is just about to get kicked out. Never mind, he puts his head on the floor and bows to the Jew, and then gets kicked in the butt.
Most natural wigs are made with Indian hair, over 99.9%. It's called black gold in the industry.
You wouldn't believe where this video is heading.
In 2004, this fact changed everything for Orthodox Jewish women.
Yeah, Jewish women were like, wow, this is such amazing hair. Where did you guys get this from? Oh, India? Yeah, we're gonna have to burn it now.
Because head covering is a religious requirement for married Orthodox Jewish women, they became a huge market. But once rabbis discovered that the hair came from these Hindu rituals, they raised alarms, calling it idolatrous and banning it. This led to the great wig burning of 2004, when women discarded their expensive human hair wigs, some even burning them in public, and turned instead to other forms of head covering.
So Jewish women were trying to trick God by covering their hair with real human hair. And then when they realized that this was from a Hindu temple, that's where they draw the line, right? That's where it's like, whoa, 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 this is actually breaking her religion's rules. Actually, guys, let's go back to headscarves until we find wigs that come from another community. I think it's racism, to be honest, because if you've looked into Jews, they have a loophole for every single rule in their religion. But Indian hair from Hindu temples, that's where they draw the line. They couldn't come up with a loophole for this one. Oh, and don't forget that one Indian guy that went to Tel Aviv thinking it was going to be some grand adventure and ended up getting kicked out of every single bar and nightclub he went to there. Also, I don't know if this falls under the whole wishing to be another race thing when it comes to Indians, but meet Fatima Khan. Fatima seems to be some ex-Muslim who lives in New York and claims to be an American journalist. Except for she's not. She's an Indian man who got exposed for pretending to be a woman in America.
Fatima Khan has left Islam and she's listed all the reasons for doing so. Except Fatima Khan isn't Fatima Khan. When you run her name through the database, she's a guy called Pankaj Srivastav from India.
Reminder that slavery was legal and segregation was legal. Don't base your morality off of legality. She's actually onto something. I agree with her. However, let's look at India for the past 70 years. The caste system in India was abolished in 1950, which banned caste discrimination and outlawed the practice of untouchables, which is a person that, based off of what they were born with, they are untouchable. You cannot touch them or even step in their shadow, or else you would then be considered dirty. When I say this, I mean this in the most literal way possible. To Indians back in the day, if you were an untouchable, they considered you worse than cow shit because they actually touch cow shit. Now you might be wondering, when did this start? Because it got abolished in 1950s. Surely that's around the time your grandparents were born. So when did this start? Apparently it was estimated to start in 1500 to 500 BC. So this system where you are heavily discriminated against based off of how you were born and what family you were born in has existed for almost 3,000 years, if not over that. But no, let's talk about slavery and segregation. And yes, I'm assuming that this is talking about American slavery and American segregation, since these things kind of go hand in hand, and if you mention these together, you're most likely talking about the American issue. Oh, and by the way, since we're on this topic, the caste system in India was so deeply rooted into the culture that it still has after effects today. This would be like Americans getting rid of slavery and then going into segregation. India is still in their segregation stage. Like, if you're from an untouchable family or another lower caste family, you are still segregated against. Not to mention, discriminating against nationality and religion still goes on today in India. Here's an Indian official kicking people while they're trying to pray. Here's an Indian train station where they put the Bangladeshi, Pakistani, and Palestinian flag on the floor for people to walk on. Now, the Bangladeshi and Pakistani flag, I can somewhat understand. I don't think it's right, but I can understand why they would be doing this to those flags due to these countries having rivalries with India. But the Palestinian flag, that's just pure hatred. Like, this country has nothing to do with India. And yes, I do believe in a free Palestine. In fact, one of the reasons why I believe they have the Palestinian flag here is because of how much of simps the Indians are for Israelis. Like, this is some kind of weird virtual signaling in hopes that Israelis will accept Indians one day. Now look, I try to respect all religions, right? You know, like, everybody has their own beliefs, but okay, I don't know how to explain this without looking like an asshole, so I'm just gonna play some clips and I'm sure you'll understand.
India, there is a temple
Hey, don't get me wrong, like, if you're gonna feed rats and, like, give them food and water and stuff, sure, whatever, you know, but, like, worshipping them, believing they're, like, reincarnation of family members, and then drinking out of the same bowl of them, I'm still not recovering from that, dude. That is disgusting.
Balaji has been blessed by the Hindu monkey god, Hanuman, giving him divine powers.
मेरी पूजा यहाँ पर इसलिए होती है क्योंकि जो लोग हैं, मैं तो सिर्फ परमात्मा के आगे विनती करता हूँ, दुआ करता हूँ, जो भी मुझसे होता है वो मैं करता हूँ, और लोगों की जो मनोकामना है वो पूरी हो जाती है और वो यहाँ पर आ जाते हैं.
But despite his position in the community, Balaji's health has become a concern for his family, and he is considering having his tail removed.
So Indians are worshipping a boy with a physical deformity, and the deformity is now taking over his health, and he needs to have it removed.
In India, anything can become a god, but sometimes even the weirdest things. In Punjab, there's a visa gurudwara where people offer toy aeroplanes praying for their visas to get approved.
Like, who comes up with this? Like, how do you know, how do you know what to sacrifice to get approved? You know what I mean? Like, and why can't you just ask God, oh God, please approve my visa? Like, why is that so hard? Like, in reality, do you think God really cares about a toy airplane offering? Like, let's be for real.
Telangana, there's a Visa Balaji temple where people bring their passport documents hoping Lord Balaji will clear their US visa problems. Current politicians and actors have temples. Narendra Modi temple in Gujarat, Sonia Gandhi temple in Telangana, Amitabh Bachchan temple in Kolkata, Rajnikant temple in Tamil Nadu, and even Trump has a temple in Telangana. And
can somebody please explain this to me? Like, surely these guys are, like, seen as weirdos even in India, right? Like that one guy that was about to get arrested and he was calling upon Donald Trump in America. Even Americans were kind of making fun of him and calling him a weirdo. Surely, like, normal Indians see stuff like this, like somebody worshiping a statue of Donald Trump and being like, oh yeah, that guy's loony. You know, they'll see the people drinking out of the same bowl of rats and being like, okay, yeah, no, that guy, he needs some mental help. But the guy that got pulled over in America, at least he has the excuse of being intoxicated and under a high-stress situation. These people are just like, it's a part of their daily routine. Like, wake up, eat breakfast, and then worship Trump. And in fact, it seems like anything can become a religion in India. This guy is walking under a bridge and touching the top for some kind of blessing and doing it back and forth a few times. It looks like everybody just started to copy him. It seems like this and the toy airplanes are actually outside of the realm of a religion and are more towards a superstition. Another thing that's observed in Indians is their creepiness towards foreign women and other things. 4 men gang rape a protected monitor lizard. Experts explain why, by Pallavi Pundir. However, just because it's being reported by an Indian doesn't mean that this happened in India, right? Well, that must just be a coincidence because forest officials in India are investigating 4 men who gang raped, killed, cooked, and ate a monitor lizard in one of India's most protected forest reserves. That is so disgusting. Like, not only did they stick their private parts into a lizard, but after 4 men did that to a lizard, they all shared it and ate it. I have never seen a crime like this before, Division Forest Officer Vishal Mali told Vice World News. The men are in their 20s and 30s and they appear to have done it for fun. There was no religious or black magic agenda. This act was so disgusting that the police were already assuming that there might have been some kind of black magic or satanic involvement for this to happen. But then they realized, nope, they were just doing it for fun. This is what they just do in their pastime. A report by wildlife advocacy groups recorded 82 cases of sexual abuse against animals in India between 2010 and 2020. Most recent cases of sexual abuse against animals included a man raping and killing a pregnant goat in southern India and a 60-year-old man raping a female stray dog last year. Here seems to be some kind of apartment listing. Indians seeking young white female roommate. Description: 7 very friendly men looking to befriend and what? I hope this is fake because this is honestly very creepy. Why are you looking for a young white female in specific? And dog, if there is 7 of you, surely if all of you have jobs, you wouldn't need another roommate to pay the bills. Like, people have roommates so they can share the bills. You have 7 of you. Here's a white woman that's in a push-up competition with an Indian, and then he tries to kiss her? Some countries have the average virginity loss is... What the fuck? Some of these guys have such broken English, I can't even read it properly. Let me try this one more time. Some countries has average virginity loss age is 17. Meanwhile, me at the age of 21 just watching everyone virginity loss. Did this guy really think we were gonna laugh with him and not think that he's a total creep? Here's a Twitter user talking about Israel becoming more diverse, referring to these Indians on a Tel Aviv beach. A large Indian account responded to this with a screenshot of theirs from 2020 where they say, "Not gonna lie, I fapped on my auntie's panties when she was in the bathroom," and says, "But you are still a perv, Peter. Didn't spare aunt." Except for the account was made in 2022, so a 2020 tweet is impossible, and this was actually an Indian just writing some fan fiction to slander some guy. And only an Indian can really come up with some disgustingly sexual stuff like this. And you can also tell because only Indians say auntie instead of aunt in the broken English when she was in bathroom. Indian nationalists on Twitter are low-key kind of ruthless. Did you guys hear the news of that Indian truck driver in Florida that killed a family while making an illegal U-turn? Well, this is the Indian response to that. What's wrong? He took out 3 pedos. Chad took out 3 pedos from this world. Oh, but these Indians were making jokes about it and stuff like that. But in the moment they found out he was Khalistani, they turned on him. By the way, Khalistani is just Northern Indian. Let me run you through the Indian mind games. If a brown person with an accent does something bad, the Indian's first response is, "Oh, this guy is Pakistani or Bangladeshi." If he's confirmed to be Indian, they say, "Oh, he's Northern Indian, he's not like us." If he's confirmed to be Central Indian, then, "Oh, he's not Hindu, he's not a real Indian." Then if he's confirmed Hindu, they just repeat step 1 and say, "This is Pakistani, sir," and they just lie about it, or they'll just call you racist. After throwing Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, Northern Indians, Muslim Indians, Christian Indians all under the bus, after all that fails, they will then call you the racist. It's like these people just always have some kind of excuse to come up with. To make things even more ironic, the guy that was saying that he's not Indian, he's Khalistani, is then talking about a NATO representative calling for the dismantlement of India. Well, there's Khalistan. You guys didn't accept them when the guy made the trucking incident, but now that a NATO committee chairman is asking for the dismantlement of India, now you want them, right? It's the same thing with Pakistan and Bangladesh. They're still salty over the independence of these countries, yet they still want these countries. They hate them, but they still want them to be a part of India. Oh, and while we're on this topic, let's talk about how this wasn't even the only trucking incident where an Indian killed people. This guy was texting and driving while in a semi-truck, full-blown, full-force, rear-ended somebody. That is instant death. Here's an Indian that fell off the highway because he was driving while asleep in a semi-truck. Okay, now forget about all this. Did you know that Indians are so egotistical that they believe that their English accent is the most superior accent in the entire world?
As an Indian person, were you aware that foreigners often make fun of the Indian English accent?
It's actually proper English. After I went to the United States, I thought they spoke wrong English, so I made fun of their English, so it doesn't make any difference to me.
I think our accent is better than theirs because I think they are like not that good. It looks like they're spitting.
I think no. I think they need to learn English from us.
This is just scientifically wrong. Like, linguistically, it's just wrong. English is not your first language. Hindi or Punjabi or something like that is. So, realistically, you're going to have a messed up accent when speaking English. That's just wrong.
It is like when we hear them, we find it funny.
The Indian characters like Apu from The Simpsons have perpetuated stereotype in Western culture that Indians sound funny when they speak English.
Like, we don't really sound like that at all.
We don't really sound like that at all.
You know, we don't speak like that, firstly. We do not speak like that. Stop doing that.
Bro, you can't make this up. They've got to be trolling at this point, really.
I have no clue what accent I have. Do I even have an accent?
That's disrespectful as shit, bruh. The fuck is wrong with you, bruh? Stop fucking laughing, bruh.
Americans don't know how to speak English. They're bad at grammar. They're like really bad. To be honest, they don't even have proper grammar in the way that they speak English.
In the way that they speak English?
They mispronounce a lot of words. Like they say water instead of water, and I just find it a little weird.
I will admit it, Americans do that, like water. Like, yeah, I say it like that, but she said water and water. Like, she did the same shit.
Spell a lot of words. It's always color is OR and stuff like that.
That's not misspelling. That's just how we spell the word. It's just a culture difference between American English and British English.
Lazy. When you listen to British English, it's very formal. It's very, crisp and classy. American English is like, it's very lazy.
Indian accent is easiest to understand. Like, they don't like slow it down like how Americans like slow, like not like.
Wouldn't that make it harder to understand if you're speaking fast? The reason why us Americans speak so slow is because we have so many foreigners that don't understand us.
They stretch out a lot of words, and then it's like really like attitude-y.
Oh yeah, we are really attitude-y, but you guys bobbing your voice up and down while literally bobbing your head isn't attitude-y. And they speak really slowly, like it's very attitude-y.
The Americans find the English accent quite funny when we speak English.
We don't speak that way how they imitate us, yeah.
I mean, like the word English, I feel like it should be like, yeah, like the...
She says this like Americans are the only ones that make fun of the Indian accent. Like English people from England don't also make fun of the Indian accent.
Like English, that's where the name comes from, so I think...
If you want to debate that England English is the right type of English versus American English and Australian English or whatever, sure, I've heard all sides of the stories, whatever, you can make an argument. They're all English-speaking countries. But we can all agree that the Indian English is not correct English and that they do sound goofy. Like, if that was the case that Indians speak better English than Americans, then how come when Trump was having that press conference, he couldn't understand a single word that the Indian reporters were asking, but they could understand him perfectly fine, and other English speakers can understand Trump perfectly fine?
Yeah, back home. In that context, I would like to ask you a question about, in last few years, we have seen several groups in the US raising anti-India voice, calling about separation, terrorism activities in India. Do you think that should continue here in the US as well?
You're going to have to go louder.
Mr. President, people in India would be welcoming your decision to extradite Tahabur Rana to...
I can't understand a word he's saying.
I'm not saying that Trump is the litmus test for the English language, but I mean, come on. Let's move on to an unfortunate statistic. As of 2014, 597 million Indians defecate in the open. Second place being Indonesia with 54 million blown out of the water, times 10ing, and plus the second place. Obviously, this being a huge issue, the Prime Minister of India decided to build a bunch of toilets in rural India. They literally went to these Indian village homes and forced them to have toilets. Later on, they investigated them, and during the course of the investigation, they were shocked to realize that house after house, they had just done away with the toilets. Funny enough, they labeled these Indians as defaulters as they went back to their default setting. One of the defaulters, though, was candid enough to admit that elders and children are used to defecating in the open and found it uncomfortable to ease themselves in unnatural surroundings. The toilets, constructed at the cost of 12,000 Rs each, were entirely funded by the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, also known as the Clean India Mission, which is a countrywide campaign initiated by the government of India. So it looks like the government is aware of the problem and is actively trying to fix it, but it seems that this culture is going to take a little bit more to be corrected. So we've talked about Indians. Now, could you imagine Indians up in the air? This is when Indians meet airplanes. Air India plane returns after plastic bags and rags clog toilet. I don't know if that's just a weird coincidence or if it's just fate that every single time an Indian is involved, somehow poop or toilets or something is also involved. On this airplane, somebody was stinking it up by farting, and coincidentally, the one who speaks out about it had an accent. What a totally not suspicious accent.
Going to bomb the plane. Head to America. Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar.
Yes, because radical Islamics are well known for their shaved faces, Indian accent, and their stereotypical polo t-shirt. Abhay Nayak arrested for bomb threat on UK flight. Just once again, another Indian trying to tarnish Muslim name. It seems like he was already upset with the flight and decided to just take down his enemies with them. An Indian man on a flight from Bali to Australia jumped out of his seat to try and kiss an attendant. What was the Indian community's response to this? That he was Pakistani. We haven't even talked about the Indian illegal spree shoplifters.
She was dealing with a customer and he was purchasing something. He didn't end up purchasing something, but unfortunately he bought it with cash. So he stole one of my wallets. He was in this one right here. Not yet. You're gonna see him. He's gonna put down his backpack here, and then he's gonna put something and grab something. He's very slick with it. He has the wallet in his hand, right here, right there. And then he's gonna put it and grab something with his other hand. Saw that?
Yeah. So he already had the wallet in his hand.
Yeah.
So that's what I.
Yeah, I can show you.
No, they just gave me the bag. I bought it from my mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you take anything else that didn't belong to you?
No, just check.
No wallet or anything like that?
Just check.
Okay. Just give me 1 second, okay?
I mean, you can check it. Why would I do that?
That's why I'm here to ask.
I can go with you. I can talk to you.
So here he's admitting he had no involvement with any wallet. Watch how quickly he switches up when they catch him with the wallet, but first, how stupid do you have to be to steal from an airport, one of the most secure places in the world? Like, there's police everywhere, and the only way you're leaving is if you miss your flight or take it. He could have at least tried to been smart with it and stole 5 minutes before they were boarding for his flight, but even then, I think they would just delay the flight and kick him off the plane. Or just arrest him at the airport that he's traveling to. Unless he's traveling outside of the country to India.
Are you like crazy? She told me that this comes with this comes with an offer. She gave it to me, right? Come on, don't say that. You have the recording, right?
Yes, I do have it.
She said that this comes with this and this is for you with this.
Well, my only.
So then after he's caught with the wallet, he tries to say that it was a part of a bargain where she was giving him it free with the purchase. This is how you know he comes from India where haggling and bargaining is a real thing, because if that was the case, then on his receipt the wallet would be marked off as $0. But since they don't do that in India, he tried to make that as his excuse.
For you. I'm a student, right? I'm going back to India. I bought it from my mom. And she said this comes with this. I said, oh.
I told you, I literally told you, I didn't watch the full video. I'm commentating as I'm watching, and I told you that he had a plane ticket to India, and as soon as he landed there, he was scot-free. Nobody would do anything about it.
You're being arrested for theft of property, okay?
But ma'am, I have not done anything.
Okay. You'll be able to explain to the judge, okay?
Huh?
I'm working on a training receipt right now.
Are they back there still?
No, they're right here.
Okay.
Hello. She said she doesn't live here. She's from India. She's with family. They're coming to pick her up still. A few times. So basically, she's been in the store. We've been watching for at least 4 hours. She's taken a ton of merchandise, different kinds. We're getting a total right now for you. It'll be well over 500, I'm sure.
No, it'll be more.
You're right.
Yeah.
Bro, you can't be this dumb.
Past the first set of doors, went into the vestibule. We stopped her in the vestibule, brought her back here. She's saying that she was still planning to pay for it.
Okay, what do you guys want done?
They always say that they're planning to pay for it. Like, were you going to pay it in the parking lot? Were you going to pay it in your car?
So you don't have an ID on you or anything like that? No? No driver's license?
No, I don't drive here also.
Okay. So you don't have any sort of Illinois ID, anything like that?
I'm not from this country.
So where's your visa? Where's your passport? You didn't have any of these things, but you were able to steal over $500 worth of merchandise from Target?
Where do you live?
India.
Negative.
Who are you staying with right now? Where does your family live?
Family is in India.
How'd you get here?
On the flight.
On the flight?
Yeah.
So you're here by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. They let you fly over without a passport?
Of course I have one.
You have a passport?
Is it with you?
It's on, how do I carry the passport and roam around?
Okay, let's see your passport.
I don't have a passport right now.
I know she's trying to just make it hard for the cops in hopes that they just let her go. But in reality, she's just making things worse for her. Here's another Indian woman who also coincidentally was shoplifting from Target of all places.
Do you speak English?
Not very good.
Not very good? What's your primary language?
Gujarati.
What is it?
Gujarati.
Gujarati?
Great, she was shoplifting and the only language she speaks is some random Indian language from the depths of the Indian village. Luckily for the police though, judging off their hoodie, they're in Canada, so surely there's a translator just down the street.
Home and clothing.
So that's her. So she just put everything in the cart and
Yeah,
then just
walk straight out.
Past the point of sales. Okay.
So we're here. They called us saying you were shoplifting. Do you have any ID on you? A driver's license or anything like that? No?
No, of course, why would she have a driver's license? Why would she have a passport? Why would she have a student visa? Why would she have any kind of visa?
If you shoplifted and I can identify you, I'm not taking you to jail tonight.
I don't know if I'm just a gullible person, but honestly, what if she is just some village girl from India that for the first time she's seeing a Target?
Yeah, she's a regular here.
Oh, nope, never mind. It looks like she's been to this Target before. Man, in all honesty, I'm kind of just tired about talking about this topic. I mean, it just keeps going on, and you guys know me. I'm not really the one to make 40-minute long videos, but I still have some leftover clips that are just plain old goofy clips, nothing really too serious about them, so let's just get on to that and end this video on a good note. I've seen some Indians partying in Ireland with a bunch of drums, and you know, whatever is going on here, right? But some Scottish or some Irish guy decided to go to India and pay back the favor with a bagpipe. Friend in Japan invites me to visit the countryside where he grew up. Driving through small towns in the middle of nowhere, friend gets more depressed with every group of Indians I point out to him. Is there no escaping these people? Dude, why are they genuinely everywhere? Ireland, the United States, Canada, Thailand, now Japan? Keep in mind that the agreement between Japan and India was recent, so this was even before they agreed to take all these immigrants. I'm convinced that if you took a boat to the North Pacific Ocean in the middle of nowhere, there will be a bunch of Indians floating on a raft that you will smell from a mile away, and they're like, wow, nice place, sir.
ऐसा होता तो हम दौड़ के भाग के जाते हैं, वहाँ नंबर थोड़ी लगाना पड़ता है, ये तो समुद्र का किनारा खुला हुआ, आते हैं लुंगी उठाते बैठ जाते.
Canada, Japan, this is your future. This actually is already happening in Canada. India House Restaurant. Yes, we're open to dine in, and yes, AI checked 100% deodorized staff. What do you mean AI checked? AIs don't have noses. Let me get in there and I'll check and I'll write up a report. You're gonna have to pay me a hefty price for that kind of torture though. Funny enough, Indians in the comment section were calling this out and saying, wow, bro, you're really gonna play into European racism? And it's like, bro, like, it's not really racist if it's your own race getting sick and tired of you guys smelling. Other people were saying, yeah, they lost my respect, I'm not gonna be dining there anytime soon, as if they want your smelly ass stinking up the restaurant after they worked so hard to make it not smell. Like, good, yeah, stay at home. They can control the hygiene of their staff, but they can't control the hygiene of their customers unless they just refuse to serve them, which would cause just an even bigger uproar. Like, instead of reflecting on this and being like, dang, our own people are now turning against us, maybe I do need to actually use deodorant and take a shower, they double down and call these people out when they're trying to solve the problem. It reminds me of that one saying, if you throw a random insult on the ground, the owner will come and pick it up. I didn't even want to touch the Indian street food due to how overplayed it is, but we got some time to kill. Here's this guy. Here, have some masala with your leg soup. Sir, I think you got some food in my microplastics here.
There is a pubic hair on the sweet pan. Something with his nuts. He just grabbed his nuts.
Then when Indians open a barber shop in India, as you can see happening back here, the barber eats every client's hair. We're going to play it, and he shakes his head too.
Yeah. This is where you shower?
I'll translate for him. He said, no, we don't shower.
Is this a real leak or do they make the leak?
Some people, make the leak, but sometimes there are the leak.
So they're making food here?
Yeah.
Is this the hangout spot?
Yeah, every day they make the food here.
You a rapper? He's an autist?
Yeah. No, his name is Atish.
Why you trying not to laugh, bro? That's disrespectful as shit, man. I see you trying not to laugh behind the computer screen, bro. Stop fucking laughing, bro.
In America, we say my Oh!
अरे मैडम का दूध गिर गया हेलो मैडम दूध अरे यार मैडम दूध गिर रहा दूध
I'll translate for you guys. He's saying don't redeem the card. Okay, so he's cutting some hole in the underwear. Surely we're doing some kind of do-it-yourself craft here. Please tell me they were at least washed. Not the phone in the little penis pouch. I think we're going to have to end the video here, but before I let you guys go, I'm going to give you one fun fact, one scary fact. Believe it or not, but 65% of India does not have internet access.